there. I just want to do a talk. I want to talk about enlightenment, and very important, and what it is. And enlightenment, like in this picture here, this is like obviously a picture and about oneness, like a ball, but that's one angle to look at oneness. For example, you can look at many separate things and think of it as one. Very diverse, complicated things, and be one to you. And if you really meditate upon that, you realise that there's actually infinite ways to perceive. There's infinite ways of awareness, and there's no set way in anything, because everything has to start from a clean slate of nothingness at some stage, in formlessness. That means, how do we know what's real and what isn't real? It's like I was listening earlier to this meditation on this app that I bought, that I downloaded on my iPad. And in the meditation, the guy was saying that these people went to this, I think it was to do with Buddhists, and they were getting told all these things about what enlightenment is, because of these people are base everything upon people that have had very spiritual experiences, and they have their theories and ideas, and then it gets very traditional, and they just repeat these same traditional things that has been passed on by someone that has had a very spiritual experience. But people have got to remember that it's like me. I had this unexpected spiritual awakening, and I'm just making stuff. I'm just basically coming away with ideas and theories a lot of the time. Regarding my awakening, different if I'm looking up information on the internet, but the awakening, it's just a theory. I know that I'm not right or wrong, because what can be right? What is real when you really meditate upon it and look and really, and on this talk he was saying that they thought that they were not enlightened if they had a thought, and this is crazy. It's crazy, all these people seeking enlightenment. They don't realise that they're absolutely enlightened and absolutely perfect, but because they're chasing enlightenment, they don't realise that that's the problem. And this is not just this is from people in places like India and other countries that are supposed to be spiritual, and I know what's happened to them. They've basically got too big for the boots, and now they're believing that they're in a different league, and they're going crazy. And you've got to, that's what's happened with these kind of countries. Is they've, not all of them, because someone like Sadhguru, I don't know if that's his real name, but like some people, these people are really good, but there's a lot of them that are not. They're brainwashed by the people that have had these big experiences, and they write it all down and store it and everything, and just repeat that. But you've got to remember that every spiritual awakening and spiritual path is different, right? It's all unique. What is enlightenment? It's what you are. What are you doing right now? You're observing. You're an observer, and you're receiving things, and you're learning and growing, and that's enlightenment. The clarity that you're going to get in a second about something out of nowhere that's enlightening you. Enlightenment is to be enlightened, and it's always going on. And that's why we're here, to learn and to grow and to become more enlightened. And there's infinite possibility of growth and enlightenment. So who can say what anything is really, and who can say, oh, this is enlightenment, or this is pure, we can't think thoughts if we're enlightened. But what do you think it is when you're not thinking thoughts, if someone achieves this? It means that you've trained your mind not to think thoughts. So you're still actually thinking thoughts, but you've just with your because thinking thoughts, is to do with the mind, but you've trained your mind to tell you that you're not doing that. Instead, what you're receiving, because everything comes from your awareness, remember. You don't think your thoughts, you receive them from your awareness. And when thoughts stop, all you've done is you've trained your awareness to not be in that mode of receiving thoughts. So it'll be like a non-dual experience. And that they call this enlightenment. It's not. It's just what you've just trained your mind to do something. And we can train ourselves, like I say, there's infinite potential. And enlightenment to me is the answers within stillness. And it's enlightenment is just everything going on. Every animal is enlightening in whatever he or she or what is experiencing. And there's this illusion with chasing it, and it's happening in these spiritual communities like India and Tibet, and it's because they've had information from spiritual people and they've stored it and they're trying to live by that person. But you've got to remember that every spiritual journey is, like I say, it's different and unique to each other. And if you really meditate upon that, there is infinite vast ways to observe something, to think about something, to feel something. And there's no right and wrong, really, when you think of it like that. There's just, everything just starts from an idea. Right? That's it. It's just made up. And this is the problem with the society in Britain, but this is the problem in places like enlightened places, because it's like what happens when a sports team gets too big for their boots. They start losing because they think they're too good. You've got to keep yourself grounded and understand that we all know nothing, because there's an infinity of vastness of knowledge within us, and that's how you access it. And you look at stars at night, so vast, and there's infinite vastness out there within us, which is connecting, which is out there. What is within is what you see outward, what you project. But there's an infinity of vastness of knowledge and growth out, and that's it. So when you think one thing, if you're stuck on that, knowing this one thing, you'll be blocking yourself off from other knowledge. So that's why it's best to just be open and understand that you just have the mindset of I know nothing. And then you'll be showered with knowledge and abundance. That's how you become abundant, by training your mind, your consciousness to be still and to not chase. But enlightenment is, very, and the perception of enlightenment is a bit crazed, I think, in the spiritual world. And I realise now why I've had a spiritual awakening, because the spiritual places that are supposed to be the most enlightened aren't that enlightened. And that's why I've had this awakening, and to share this knowledge on. That there is infinite ways to look at things. And when you think of it, what is consciousness? If everything comes from non-existence, what is non-existence? What is a something? What is consciousness, really? You really observe these topics. What is anything? What is an idea, really? The thought comes, but we don't think the thought. We just receive the thought. If you observe, you can't tell anyone right now what your next thought's going to be, because you don't think them. You receive them from your level of awareness. That's where it comes from. When I say level, even that's not true, because there's no high or low. That's a perception. It's the same as the new year. It's not a new year that's coming. We are perceiving that it's a new year, because we've been told that there's such thing as time, when everything's just made up, like I say. And understand there's just nothingness. That's all there is of everything. It's just nothingness. This is just nothingness. Awareness, a dream, and it has and the characters in the dream are just characters in the dream. When you die, it'll just manifest another dream. because it's just awareness, you see. But enlightenment is the clarity, the insight that we have in every moment when we are present. It's what you're experiencing right now, but not thinking that it is if you're thinking of something else. And people are doing this in the spiritual field as well because of hunger, because they think that this person had this experience, so they need to have this same experience. But that wastes so much of our energy. When wanting things, when we just let it go, then we can be shown something brand new that no one else has experienced. See? So just let it go. But anyway, if you're watching, you're meant to watch it. Everything falls to divine order and divine timing. Thank you for watching. Thank you.